I was given this, and my nothing is.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another spiritual snack. My name is Niara, one of the youth leaders here at Kingdom Fellowship, and let's get into the word. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 1 through 8. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to scatter stones and a time to gather them. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to search and a time to give up. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear and a time to mend. A time to be silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. Okay, so let's break down the scripture by starting with some context. So this book from the Bible is one of the poetic books from the Bible, and this one in specific is written by Solomon. And Solomon in this chapter is basically talking about how humans basically take on this burden of themselves, trying to overwhelm themselves with so many tasks and things that they feel like they need to do, and they feel like there's still not enough time to complete what they need to get done. But Solomon is contrasting that idea by saying that God has given you all the time you need to get everything you need to do done. As humans, especially teenagers, it is so natural for us to feel like we have this large burden on our shoulders and to feel like we're carrying so many things, from school to sports to being an older sibling or maybe even being a younger sibling. So in this chapter, Solomon is reminding us that even though we do feel like we have all these tasks to carry and these obligations, God is giving us a time for everything. Like there's a time for hope and there's a time for grieving. There's a time for happiness and there's a time for sadness. Okay, so a perfect example of this would be, at one point I was really struggling in math and I finally got a good grade on my test. I was very excited, I was very happy. But at some point, there was a time where I was like, oh, well, this is just one grade. Like, my grade might go down. We still have a lot of weeks left in the quarter. I don't know what it's going to look like at the end. And I haven't been doing good this far. Why would I just randomly start doing good right now? So it's kind of just allowing yourself to be present in the moment and be happy in that moment. Like, you got that A, you deserve that A, you earned that A. So let yourself be happy and enjoy and bask in that A instead of being worried about what's to come, because there's a time for everything. So in terms of our theme for this month, which is balance, it's really just about balancing those tasks and understanding that there is a moment for everything. So there might be a moment where you feel overwhelmed, but you can also utilize different tools like maybe prayer, maybe a journal or an agenda book to balance out those tasks in your life so you don't feel as overwhelmed. The overwhelming feeling is still going to be present, but you're going to be able to handle it better. You're going to be rooted in God so you can balance and understand what's going on and understand how God is working in your life, and that you'll be able to get through it in the end. Just remember, guys, whenever you're feeling happy, wherever you're grieving, whenever you're sad, just remember that don't be so hard on yourself, and God will give you a time for everything. So bask in that moment and make sure you're just not rushing through it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, I'm Niara, and I will see you next time for another spiritual snack. Peace.